All right, so this is you and your goal of attempting to earn your first junior engineering job in an $80,000 a year salary. Notice the money bag, super important here. And here are the obstacles currently standing in your way, or so you think are currently standing in your way. You've got AI, the AI boom, a poor economy, senior only job listings. So how exactly are you supposed to get through these obstacles to get your first junior engineering job? How are you supposed to be given the sword to be able to fight through these obstacles to attain your goal? Is attaining an $80,000 a year salary even possible in the year 2026 for a junior engineer who's either fresh out of college or very little experience? Let's talk about it. All right, so let's talk about how we're gonna earn $80,000 a year as a junior software engineer in 2026. Now, later in this video, I am gonna do some job hunting with you so that we can find jobs that you do qualify for as a junior engineer. And when I say junior engineer, I am mainly and specifically talking about folks out there who have 2 years or less experience, right? So whether you're a college grad, a boot camp grad, or you build some side projects, or did your little entrepreneurship web application or something like that, right? Like someone who has very little experience and is trying to get their foot in the door and get their first junior engineering job. Now, a lot of junior engineers today believe that this elephant in the room, AI, is the reason and sole purpose as to why they can't find a job. I'm here to tell you that it is utterly false and fake, and all these companies out there that are saying that their software engineers or their senior engineers specifically are just that more efficient because of AI tooling to the point that they don't need junior engineers. It's full on BS. Like, as someone who uses AI tooling on a daily basis to write code for my day-to-day job, as well as on some side projects, I can tell you right now, it does make me efficient, but it does not replace a junior level engineer. But we're gonna put that to the side. For those of you out there that are looking for a video that is gonna teach you how to get your first job as a FAANG engineer, whether it's working at Netflix, Microsoft, Google, Apple, or whomever, this is not what this video is about. And for a few different reasons. Specifically, I want you to take a step back, right? I want you to look at things from a wider lens. Companies like Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, and the FAANG alikes and the other big name companies that pay the huge bucks, a lot of these companies' main business and focus is around software engineering, right? You look at Microsoft, you look at Netflix, you look at Apple, a lot of their money comes from tech, right? So I want to look at companies that are outside of that tech sphere, right? Like logistics companies or travel companies or healthcare companies or government companies, right? These are the companies of which their main source of income isn't tech or software related. However, they're earning a lot of money as a business, and they just so happen to need software engineers. These are the companies that are gonna more likely be hiring for junior engineering candidates, if you get my drift. Now, if your goal is to someday attain a job at a FAANG-like company, or just generally a company that pays you a ton of money, then something to keep in mind is you've got to get your foot in the door first. And getting your foot in the door at one of these other companies could be the way that you build up your experience to the point that you eventually are able to transfer to one of those other companies. So let's get into some job searching first, and then after that, we're gonna come back and talk about what. So not gonna lie, did a little bit of research before making this video just to make sure that I wasn't talking completely out of the side of my face. So one of the first companies that I do want to look at is CVS. So let's look at CVS Careers. All right, so we're on the CVS Careers website, and hopefully a lot of you out there are familiar with CVS. They're a company that specializes in both healthcare as well as just consumer goods and stuff like that. I found a few jobs that may qualify for what we're looking for. There's this software development engineer, and the required expectations are 3 years experience in large scale software development. So specifically, remember I said We're looking for jobs that are specifically looking for 2 years or less. So let's go ahead and kill that, or at least get as close to that 2 year or less mark. This other position they have is an associate engineer, which I'm guessing just is how they qualify as a junior. So let's see, a primary position summary: a software engineer develops systems to manage data flow, required qualifications, strong software engineering fundamentals, foundational understanding and demonstrated experience with C#, .NET Core, etc., etc. 2 years of experience in software engineering. Boom. That's exactly what we're looking for. Especially when you see these job advertisements where they're talking about software engineering fundamentals, they really just mean that you have some semblance of data structures, algorithms, things like that. This is a winner, associate engineer at CVS. Now, again, we're looking for companies that are not tech specific. Now, I'm pretty sure CVS has a ton of tech behind what they do. And in terms of the pay for this role, they're targeting anywhere between $26 to $71 an hour. Let's look at what that salary would be. Yeah, so that annual salary would be $147,000 a year, right? So something to keep in mind when looking for jobs. Look at CVS. Clearly they have an associate engineering position, which is just another keyword for junior engineer. Let's look at another position. So this is a full stack training program that they have, a cohort for June of 2026. And I love companies that have cohorts and apprenticeship programs that are like essentially geared towards training you up into being a software engineer. These are the sorts of companies that you want to be looking for and targeting for a few different reasons. One, they have the structure for a junior engineer to succeed because they already have it built in where they're going to teach you what you need to know. Two, they're hiring for junior engineers. So, that's something else to keep in mind too. So let's look at the job or qualifications. So 1 year of experience, academic or professional, in a relevant IT position, 6+ months of experience in programming, developing, or coding, right? This is right up the alley for a junior engineer. And the pay for this, boom, $64,000 to $173,000 a year, right? That's another great job opportunity. And if you look at the listing and what you'll be doing, you'll be assisting with supporting existing applications, writing high quality code, collaborating with business analysts, right? So this is everything that you need in your first job as a junior engineer. Let's see if we could find another one on this site. Yeah, so I found one for an application developer. This one is interesting. So this requires 0 to 2 years of work experience as an application developer. However, they require 5+ years experience in mainframe development. So if you do have some experience with mainframe development, then come and give this job a look. This is an application developer job, but this job is paying $64,000 to $173,000 a year as well. As you can see, they're looking for someone who has little work experience. So if you have any experience in any of these tools that they're talking about, right? COBOL or CICS, I don't know who has experience with that in 2026. Let's be real. However, if you for some reason have COBOL experience, apply for this job because I guarantee you there is not a lot of people out there that do. So let's see if we could find another job on CVS's website. Software engineer, Python. So this one, 4 years software development experience, eclipses our mark of 2 years or less. 3 years experience as a software development engineer. That's closer to what we're looking for, but not exactly. So we're gonna look for another company. Let's take a look at one of the jobs that we found on Delta's website for a software development engineer on their crew team. Let's look to see what the minimum requirements are. 3 to 5 years hands-on experience as a software engineer or related technical engineering capacity. So this is just slightly above a junior engineer, doesn't qualify for what we're looking for. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. This is closer to what we're looking for. Delta is hiring for an intern in IT or software engineering. They're specifically looking for college grads or someone who's completed at least 2 years in a college program. So that's interesting. I would also encourage, for those of you out there who are boot camp graduates who don't have college degrees, when you do see things like this where they're targeting college grads, I would honestly still apply because the thing is, a lot of you bootcamp grads have more experience with actual coding than a lot of college grads too. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. No shade to the people out there with computer science degrees. It's just the facts. Usually the case. But yeah, so this is a company in a position where they are hiring for an intern for a software engineer. More than one, actually. This is another job listing where they're hiring for an intern in software engineering too. Delta wasn't as fruitful as I was looking for. Some of their other base engineering jobs are looking for a minimum of 3 years experience, but they do have some internships, so that is interesting. Let's look for another company. All right, found another company, Lowe's. They're a competitor to Home Depot in terms of having a lot of tools and various homemaking things. So Lowe's is currently hiring for a software engineer, Java Spring Boot position, another Java Spring Boot job. But let's look at the required qualifications. 2 years of experience in software development or related field, 1 year of experience working on projects involving implementation, yada, yada, yada. So this is mainly and specifically geared towards people who are junior level engineers as well. One downside is I don't see the information about how much the salary is for this job. I'll see if we are able to find it on Glassdoor. Lowe's Home Improvement software engineer career salary between 111 and 160K a year. Exactly what we're looking for, right? So this is another job listing. Clearly they are cool with hiring junior engineers. I'm gonna look at another job listing from Lowe's, and I believe this may be similar. Yes, so another job listing where they want 2 years of experience. And then this one just says software engineer. And this one is also, they want 2 years of experience in software development or related field. And this is based out of Charlotte. And that's something else to note too, is you gotta be willing to potentially relocate for your first software engineering job as a junior, right? You don't have the experience to call the shots essentially as someone who wants to work remote when you're just coming out of the gate. A lot of companies have gotten better at hiring remote candidates as junior level engineers. However, your first job may not be remote. You may have to wait until your second or third in order to do that. So something to keep in mind. All right, so I did some searching around for other companies that are within like the government tech space. Now this company, Layoffs, I'm not super familiar with. However, they clearly have listed several job listings for intern and new graduate jobs. Now, there's also job listings for non-graduates and graduates and interns, so something to keep in mind. However, I did find several jobs. So this is a software engineering job. Looks pretty basic, and their basic qualifications, they're looking for someone who has completed a degree or relevant discipline, such as like engineering or computer science. Unfortunate that they require a they require a degree, but for those of you that do have a degree or are college graduates, then this may be something to look into. But in terms of their pay range, they're between 57 to 104,000 a year. So that also hits the mark for what we're looking for. And they do have several other jobs. They have a systems engineer job that has similar requirements, similar pay. And they also have another software development intern job. This one, I'm pretty sure the requirements are probably lower than the other two. Yeah, so experience in following a documented software development process, currently enrolled or pursuing a bachelor's in computer science or computer engineering degree. Another job that is paying upward towards around that 80K mark that we're looking for. So this is another company to potentially add to the mark and the bucket. All right, so did some more research into another government-backed company. So CACI, they tend to or seem to take on government-related contracts. So I did a quick search through their website. They have several software engineering positions that are currently open, and these positions are also, let's take a look at one. This one is just says software engineer, but we want a quick look at the requirements. So bachelor degree in computer engineering, computer science, electrical engineering, or related technical discipline and 0 to 5 years experience or an equivalent combination of education and skills. So this is perfect, right? So there is no requirement of a college degree for this position. This position, they're saying you can have anywhere from 0 to 5 years of experience that is relevant to what you'll be doing at the job. And that is what we want to be looking for those of you out there who don't have college degrees. For those of you with them, then, you know, congrats, that's an extra leg up. But this position is exactly what we're looking for in terms of trying to get that first software engineering position as a junior engineer, right? So duties and responsibilities, you're working with existing specifications to implement, test, and document software solutions, work on product development, develop concepts, right? So, and then of course, one of the things that you all are looking for, the salary. What's the salary of this? Let's look for that $sign. Yeah, so the proposed salary for this is between 63 to 127 a year. Right, so that's exactly what we're looking for in terms of the mark that we're looking to hit. And this company, as you can see, they have several positions open currently for a software engineer, and I'm pretty sure all of these have similar listings in terms of requirements. That's something to keep in mind too. CACI, they are a government and contracting consulting agency. From what I know, don't know a lot about them, but I just did some research into other companies out there that may be hiring for junior engineers. But a lot of companies that hire in the government space, a lot of them are looking for junior engineers. For some reason, folks don't gravitate towards government related jobs. So that is something to keep in mind too, along with these other companies that I mentioned and listed as well. Right, so we set out to answer the question, can you find an $80,000 a year job as a junior level engineer? And I believe we answered that question yes. Through looking and doing various research from different companies, whether it was from travel companies or logistics companies or government contract companies, there are companies out there that are hiring for junior level engineers. You just got to know where to look. That said, I challenge you, do some research into various companies, right? These other smaller name companies that aren't the Microsofts, the Googles, the Apples, etc. These other companies that are dealing in logistics, traveling, government contracting, things of that nature, that are looking for software engineers. I challenge you to either search through Gemini or ChatGPT or Claude or what have you. Put in the prompt, hey, I'm looking for junior level engineering jobs, or companies that would potentially be hiring for junior level engineers who aren't tech centric, right? So not companies like Apple or Microsoft or Google and whatnot, right? I challenge you to do that work. And I also challenge those of you out there who know of companies who are hiring for junior engineers, whether it's every now and then or on an annual basis or what have you, post the names of those companies in the comments of this video. Hopefully you help other people out there that are also looking for jobs. And I really pray and hope that this video helped you out there in just getting some hope for what you were looking for in terms of your job search. And if you do, or if anyone out there does find a job through using these tactics, please also post in the comments and let me know. I would be greatly interested in hearing about your success stories. So that's all I got for you today. I'm tired. I researched several companies just to back up what I was saying. Took a lot of searching, took a lot of felt like I had homework, felt like I was looking for a job. But I hope that I was able to help you all out. And that's all we got for today. Later.